Okay, it's been a while, but there was a topic that I wanted to talk about that I was talking about with a friend earlier, and it's pretty important. So I thought I'd make a little video on it. The concept is the fact that all of you who are from the ages of like 18 to 22, 23, 24, 25, you think you've got time, right? And maybe you do have time. But in regards to business and the way you approach it, you really don't. You really fucking don't. Let me explain. So I was talking to a friend about this earlier today. Yeah, where's my... I was talking to a friend earlier about this today. And the concept is, you're 22, you're like, okay, yeah, I've got 10 years, right? I'm chilling. I'm like, 10 years will be 32. I can maybe have kids at 32. I've got 10 years to make this shit work, right? But you want this shit early. And if you're anything like me, you want success as young as physically possible, right? So to attain that, you need to do things that are going to get you to that goal, okay? But time goes quick. If that's something that you haven't already learned in the last 10 years of your life, time goes fucking fast. So fucking fast. I started my YouTube series. It was a daily series, 0 to 10K a month, like 3 years ago now. 3 fucking years ago. So I was what? 19. I'm now 22. Crazy. And time's just evaporated. And the way that I like to look at it is, you want to start a business, right? You have this idea. Okay, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start this consultancy thing, or I'm going to start this whatever business it is, really. And you approach it with, as anyone should, anyone who has never been in the business game before does, okay, I'm going to make a website. This is my business model. I'm going to make a website. I'm going to make an email address. Should I pay for the email address? Should I pay for my own domain? Is it worth it? I don't know. Because it's like 10 quid. Is it worth it? I'll just pay for the website domain. I'm not going to pay the extra 10 quid. And most of these guys, they start their business and they're like, okay, I'm going to just make my website like fucking insane, right? But how are you going to get sales if you've got no one going to the fucking website? The big leverage comes from getting clients and getting them paying you, right? And the best way you're going to do that is outreaching to people. You need to put your product in front of as many people as possible. And these guys, they're like, yeah, I'm going to get fucking rich. I'm going to start this business. I'm going to do this. And then they outreach to like 10 fucking people a day. Like, do you understand how much competition there is? Do you understand how many DMs these people that you're outreaching to get? You're not going to fucking win. And if you keep doing that for so long, time's just going to evaporate. And the problem that people find is they don't realize this until it's too late. And from the ages of like 18 to 23, it's so much easier to grind because there's lesser overheads, really. There's lesser overheads. You don't have responsibilities. You've just got to feed yourself and have a roof over your head, right? So you've got to do you don't have to pay for kids. You don't have to take your kids to fucking Disney. You don't have to pay for your kids' private school. You don't have to pay for their bus pass. You don't have to pay for their food. You've just got to keep yourself fed and have a roof above your head, right? So this is the best time to do it, as we all know. But if you get yourself stuck in I'm not talking down the relationships because they can be both ways. They can be positive and negative. You get yourself stuck in a relationship whereby all of your income is going towards this girl that you're with, and you're afraid of losing her, and you're sat in this fear mindset of like, okay, I might lose my girl. You're just making this money that you're working your job for, and then you're just giving the money and keeping yourself afloat in that regard. And you have no time to go and like actually do things, which I find so many people find themselves in that hole of. And then you lose this window of time from the ages of 18 to 25, or at least a lot of it. And then you start getting these overheads, and they build up and they build up and they build up. So like you've got this window, and if you're wasting it not doing things of leverage, time's just gonna fucking evaporate. You get in a relationship that's 3 years long. You're like, okay, I've got this girlfriend now. I've got to pay for her. I've got to work this job. But I'm gonna get rich. I'm gonna get fucking rich. Yeah, I'm gonna get rich because it's gonna happen one day. Like, I've got 10 years until I'm 32. Yeah, it's gonna fucking happen. Of course, it's gonna happen. But then, okay, so you pay for this girl. You're spending all this time with this girl. where's the time gonna go for you to not only approach your business with a like and actually do it, but actually learn from mistakes to actually get to a point of which then you can actually succeed? Because most people, you're not going to succeed off the bat. You've got to go through mistakes, you've got to go through failures, you've got to go through all these things. And if you're not putting yourself in a position to actually go through these failures and fail, again, time's just going to evaporate, and all the time that you had is now gone. But we're all sat in this this construct of the fact that we've got so much time, when you really don't. You just don't. My friend said to me earlier, he was like, I remember when you were starting Social Seller, which is my business, well, one of my businesses, a year ago, and I look at it now, I've got 6 brands that I've built under Social Seller, as well as Simpletics. I've got Simpletics, and I've got 6 other fucking brands that I run with different influencers. And he looks at that. I started that, March last year. He looks at that, he's like, and what have I done? I've done nothing. And that's a year. That's a year of doing nothing. So you sit in this construct of like, yeah, I've got enough time. Yeah, I'll do it next weekend. I'll do it the weekend after. You don't. You got to look at your life from a bird's eye view and be like, okay, everyone copes. Everyone's got all these coping mechanisms and everything between. But you've got to look at it from an unbiased bird's eye standpoint. Where is the work going to come from to actually attain the goal that you want to attain? So X amount of money or whatever it may be. Bro, what is this? Where's the money going to come from? It's not going to fucking spawn out of thin air. You've got to put the work in to go and attain it, right? So where's this time going to spawn in from? And I just see everyone having the same problem. Like, everyone. And what people also fail to understand is they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be rich because I'm fucking different, right? I'm different. I'm currently working a 9 to 5, but like, I'm different. Like, I know I'm going to be rich. I know I'm going to be rich. Guess what, buddy? Everyone else wants to be fucking rich as well, but no one ever does anything to actually attain that. And you also say stuff like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I want to be rich. I want to make money on doing this. It's not going to fucking spawn out of thin air, bro. And if you start now, you're not going to get, most likely not going to get results in your first month, especially if you've never done it before. Maybe in the first year. I mean, I've been in this business space since I was 15, and I'm not fucking perfect at all. But like, I understand key principles, and it took me a lot of mistakes and trials and tribulations to actually understand them. But if you're not actually going through the experiences or putting yourself out there to actually attain those failures, then you're never going to learn. And you can read so many books, but again, most of the time, books are just procrastination. So, or just mental masturbation, really and truly. So you say that you don't want to work a 9 to 5. No one else wants to fucking work a 9 to 5, pal. What's different about you? And then the other hard truth that you've got to face, but it's actually a good truth if you look at it in the right regard, is if it's hard, if something is hard, just know that 99% of other people are going to quit when they get to that same position. The reason that Lamborghinis and Porsches and this house and that holiday and this private jet is rare and not many people have them and everyone perceives them as incredibly valuable is because not many people have them. And the people that do have them are the people who are actually willing to work and do things that actually get them to the goal that they want to attain, right? So if a hard thing comes up, they actually attack it head on and then get the result from it. One of the biggest problems with business is people go and make a business and then they spend 3 fucking months trying to perfect the fucking logo. The logo. I started my business. I didn't even have a fucking website, bro. I was just outreach. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing all this bullshit. I was just outreach, and I'll just fucking spit game. Then maybe I'll make a website. But like, the biggest thing is outreach. If I'm not outreaching, then what? Like, if I'm spending my day making a fucking website and I've done no outreach, what's the fucking point of my day? You've got to realize this. But most people are sat in this construct of like, yeah, it still work because I'm doing a website and the website's going to make people think that my business is good. No, bro. No, it doesn't work like that. How are you going to get people onto the fucking website? How? You're not. So you need to put your name out there first. And then once you've done a certain number of outreach a day, then you can do the website. But if you're not doing the core aspects that are actually going to pull the levers to actually get you to a specific thing, how are you going to get the results you want to attain? How? Are they just going to spawn out of fucking thin air? No. If something is hard, it means that not many other people are going to do it. And that means that if you do it, you're automatically in the top 1% of people who are trying the same thing as you. And everyone says they don't want to work a 9 to 5. But as soon as that hard thing comes up, they have to upload 10 TikTok shop videos a day, or they have to do 50 emails a day, or they have to do 50 DMs a day, which, by the way, isn't even fucking hard. They can't do it, and they just like give up because they're like, no, this isn't going to work. It's too risky. I'm just going to get paid fucking $12 an hour for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and that's less risky, bro. Like, oh, come on. So just understand, if you want to get results, you need to attack with the right things and do the right things, and understand that time is a privilege, first of all, and that it goes fucking fast. And if you're sitting there spending a month doing a fucking logo, or a month doing a website, or a month choosing your brand name, or a month making your LinkedIn page look nice, that's not where the money is, bro. That's not where the money is. The money is in getting your face in front of people, getting eyeballs on whatever it is that you are selling. Once you have that, then, and only then, can you then figure out how to fully optimize the funnel from the top to the bottom. If you've never done business before, if you've done business before, then you know how to do outreach, and you know how to optimize the funnel, and that will be done from the off. But if you don't, you can't sit there and try and perfect every little fine fucking detail before you go and then put it out into the world. Because you don't know. You don't know. You can get the core, and then the rest you've got to execute it on. But most people just lose years of their life, just procrastinating, doing the thing that actually is going to get them results. Just the way that it works, bro. So, if you're currently sat in a relationship with a girl, I'm not saying to leave the relationship, but what I am saying is to look at your life and think, okay, I want to get rich. I've said to everyone that I'm going to get rich. I'm going to attain this goal. I'm going to do this thing. But what am I actually going to do to attain this goal? Otherwise, you're just like everyone else who says that they're going to be rich one day. And I've always said, yeah, I'm going to be rich one day, but they're not going to actually do anything to attain that goal. It's not going to come out of thin air, bro. It's not. There's one thing that I will say, and it does come from a guy that not many people like, but if you're in this space, you probably like him. If you don't like him, you're pretty gay. I'll be real. But the concept is, you go to a gym guy, you go to a guy who's got fucking built, and you say, how did you get built? He's not going to sit there and say, I don't know. He's just not. He's not going to sit there and say, I don't know. He went to the gym, he had a plan, he stuck to the plan, he ate the right foods, he got enough sleep, he did all the right things, and then slowly it progressed and he got to that end result. So how are you, with no experience in business, going to go and get rich? Just get rich. Yeah, bro. Just going to walk out the front door and, there's going to be a briefcase with a mill on my fucking front door. Like, it's not going to happen. It's just not. It's just not going to happen, bro. So you need to think of a plan. Don't perfectionize it down to a fine fucking detail, and just know the biggest thing of anything is getting eyeballs on whatever it is that you're selling. Eyeballs on your DM, eyeballs on your website, eyeballs on this, eyeballs on that. But if you're constructing all of the back end with no fucking, and you're not getting eyeballs from anywhere, then what's the point of having the back end? So, if you don't have time, you're probably 20 right now, and time's just going to fucking fly by. As you probably have already realized. Like, being 18 probably feels like yesterday. Me being 20 feels like fucking yesterday. Now I'm 22. So, lock in. Understand that you don't have as much time as you think you do. And please don't get to the age of 40 and look back at this current time period that you're never going to get back, can I add, with regret. Just don't. The word is the worst, probably one of the worst feelings. It probably is the worst feeling, regret, to be honest with you. Anyway, this was on my mind, and you've really just got to understand that you're against the clock, bro. You're against the clock. And if you want what you say you want, if you want what you're telling your friends and your family about, you're going to have to change something that you've been doing for the last 5 years, because it's clearly not fucking working. So analyze your time, analyze where it's being spent, analyze how you're utilizing your money, analyze what the next steps are. Maybe write it down physically in a book, journal, ideally not on fucking Notion and making that all look sexy and a whole Notion page. Just go and get a notepad, put bullet points, and I'm going to do this. I'm starting this business. This is how I'm going to do outreach. I'm going to send 1,000 DMs. I'm going to get, I don't know, 10 responses, and 1 will be a call. And if I get 5 calls, the industry average states that I will at least get 1 sale. So to get that 1 sale, I need to send 5,000 DMs and I have a client. Simple. You'll get more than that probably, but that will guarantee that you will have a client. Anyway, with that being said, you don't have much time. Don't think that you do, because you don't. And you need to put yourself into a position to be able to fail so that you can learn. Otherwise, you're always going to live in this hole of comfort for the rest of your life, because comfort is the worst thing ever. If you're comfortable, you have no reason to do anything different to what you're currently doing. So don't allow yourself to be comfortable. Put yourself out of your comfort zone. Seek discomfort, as some YouTube channel would say, and lock in. Lots of love, and it's been a while, so it's nice to waffle into a microphone for the first time in a while. Anyway, follow me on Instagram. Cheers. All right, bye.